Hello, welcome back, fans and friends of the Frosty Nut. I'm back with a little update on the review I did for the A107 and have done some experimentation and have found that there is nothing wrong, even though a momentary switch would still be better. I found that there is nothing actually wrong with the button or the configuration for the external power button switching on and off with another aircraft with the fly-by-wire. So I was confirming some experimentation using the MobiFlight, and I found that with the MobiFlight program, it was definitely registering every button push I did. There was no issue with any button push that I did. It was definitely saying, yes, I can see the button and it's all working. And I'll show you that now. I'll just switch over to this middle screen here and turn that off. Okay, so here we have, and I'll just put the cam back on. Here we have the Rowsfire for the Phoenix overhead panel, and as I said, when we went to do the external, and we can look at the external now, I was looking at a different setting and trying to figure out different settings and that, and I was trying to understand why this button was not working. Now if we actually look at the configuration, this is what Rowsfire already had set for this switch, and I couldn't understand why it would not be working. Right? And if we look at the switch setup, we can clearly see that it says on press on the Phoenix, on the A320, in the electrical, the overhead electrical external power press. That means to push the button. Push the button. When I push it, I want you to do this code, which means to press that power button. And that was fine. And then I looked at what they had on release. They had the same thing. Now I have changed that and fiddled around with it and experimented and tried all sorts of other weird and wonderful things and still could not get it to work. But what this is saying is correct, because they've put a locking switch in there. So when you press it, MobiFlight knows it's been pressed, and when it's released, then the release command on release should then again go ahead and press the button in the sim. And this wasn't happening very well. So there was definitely something going on there. So not quite sure whether it's because there's extra code here or whether it's because of what. That's something else I've just noticed I might have to look at. Maybe because there's too lots of code there. Possible. But what I have found is I set up the fly-by-wire aircraft using the same settings. I haven't got the output power LEDs to display yet, but using the fly-by-wire, set up just the external power switches with the same thing, the same on-off, and we have for the fly-by-wire, we have it saying that on press, I want you to now. I think I've got the stable version installed, but for some reason MobiFlight did not recognize the stable version, only development version, so that's fine. But again, on press in the fly-by-wire A320 electrical, when I press this button, I want you to toggle the external power button, right? And on release, I want you to do the same exact thing. So that's all well and good. That's been set and tested. And then I set up the LEDs for the on and off power. So now if we go over to this is the fly-by-wire overhead. Now this is what's interesting. You watch this. If I go on, look how quickly it responds. If I turn it off, look how quickly it'll respond. There is no delay. The button on the A107 is responding exactly the way it should. So it's working 100% with the fly-by-wire aircraft. Because the fly-by-wire aircraft, the button actually pushes, and you notice it push when it's, when you have the mouse on it and you press it. You can see the physical button or the virtual button. You can see it move. It's just really quick, but you can see it move. And that is important to observe, because when I do it on the A107, push it in, push it out, push it in, push it out, and you can see then if I didn't lock it, if I don't lock it, if I don't push it down properly, see how it's just flicking? So it is working perfectly. So there's no fault with MobiFlight. There's no fault with any of the hardware. We could have a momentary switch here, which might work just as well, especially with the Fenix. But having the locking switch, I can understand why he's gone that way. So there's no issue with getting that to work at all. None whatsoever. It's in the Fenix, because the Fenix is not pushing the button properly, and that's the issue. So that little update there, and I'm going to try and do a whole profile for people who have the fly-by-wire. I'm going to try and do a whole profile for the A107 based on the Fenix. So you'll have to bear with me. That might take some time, but we'll see what we can sort out for you. But definitely we have discovered a perfectly working power on and power off button. I hope this little update has informed you, and I will certainly let Rowsfire know about this discovery and work with them in future. Thanks for watching again this brief update about the Rowsfire A107 overhead panel, which is a brilliant piece of hardware, and for the price you are getting a very good, effective little mini overhead panel that will actually do what you want it to do, and that way you don't have to use the mouse all the time. And of course, if you want 12% off, use code FROSTYNUT at the checkout off any of the Rowsfire products. You'll get 12% off using code FROSTYNUT. FROSTYNUT, one word, FROSTYNUT, code at the checkout for 12% off all Rowsfire products. Thanks again, guys. Keep tuned and stay frosty.